you teach them to run on the balls of their feet and explain why, they'll be a lot faster, but they're also going to see the ball a lot easier. Pumping their arms, catching moving balls. All of these things are going to help them, and what I see a lot of outfielders do as well is they'll go running after the ball and they're like this the whole entire time. So it's a great drill because you can point out to them, if you ever see in the Olympics, 100-meter dash, the runners are running with their hand pointed out. No, there's a reason why you pump your arms. Faster, efficiency. In a game of softball, it is a game of inches. So these little things seem like, does it really matter if I pump my arms? Yes, it does. Because how many balls do you miss by inches? All the time. Catch those balls by being efficient. Have some fun with it. Or you guys can be quarterbacks and wide receivers, and you can maybe be Aaron Rodgers and Greg Jennings, and you're scoring a winning touchdown. Sorry, I'm a Packer fan. Hope I don't make anyone mad. Where's my Vikings? I saw a Vikings guy. Yep. Hi. That's why I brought that up. At least I'm not in Chicago. I did this when I did a talk in Chicago. I practically got thrown off the stage. So I'm talking about my Packers. Yeah, I think go over well. Communication. Again, these are things like when I think about my transition into the outfield, I think about the things that really made me from like an average outfielder to a great outfielder, and it was these must-haves. Communication is about trust, and it's also about being consistent. What I found at the time is everybody had a different way of calling the ball, telling you you had the ball. So for example, you had someone saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. You had someone else saying ball, ball, ball. You had someone saying Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. She has it. There's like 15 things being yelled. And when you throw in some emotion, high heart rate, crowd noise, wind, anything, it's not like you can understand and decide, I'm going, okay, she said you got it. I'm going to call ball. No, it's not like we can freeze frame and analyze this. You want your team in general, but especially your outfield, to be using the same terms consistently. So decide, pick a word. What are we going to use to call the ball? Because the I got it's and the minds and the balls and you, and it's not going to work. Because as an outfielder, when I'm sprinting after a ball and I know there's another outfielder, or I know there's a shortstop, or I know there's someone about to come, I want to be able to trust my ears that everybody's communicating the same thing. So we always use ball, ball, ball. Because you want to pick something that you can say repetitively without sounding like you're gargling water. So like, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. It's like, what is she doing, Ball, 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 ball. Mine, 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 mine. Very clear, very easy to say. And I know if I hear, for us, we do ball. If I hear the word ball being yelled by one of my teammates, it's very clear that that noise, what I hear, that sound, is someone else calling it. So, making sure that you practice communication, that you get something consistent amongst your team. Same with the fence. I know a lot of times breakaway fences, right? Sometimes you might have a wall or you might have something more sturdy, which is something maybe more to fear from an outfielder. But the balls of the fence are usually the best ones to make the best plays. Meaning, if it's hit over your head and it's going to the fence, those are the ones that you want to miss because you're scared of the fence. I mean, I think of the World Series last year with Nelson Cruz and him being afraid of the fence. Sorry, I'm bringing up for any Ranger fans. Sorry. Wait, that was 2 years ago. But Nelson Cruz going back, right fielder. He's a professional baseball player, very good one. He's going back and he hesitates like 3 steps out because there's a fence coming. And he doesn't trust. This is like 160 games or 170, whatever game number that was. I was so mad. I'm not even a Ranger fan. And to me, it just shows that even the best outfielders in the world have issues with trust. So practice it. Get with your breakaway fence. Get with your foul ball fence. Have them go back, and the most important thing is getting your other outfielders to have trust. Because really, at the end of the day, as I'm going back, I'm going to be reaching, I'm going to use my peripheral vision, but my ears are the biggest asset I have to trusting the fence. You got room, find it, and fence. Now, fence is something that you only use if that ball is like 20 feet over the fence. You have no shot of catching this. Please stop running. So we all know we have that one girl that's like literally Forrest Gump style would run straight at the fence even though it's 20 feet over because she just really has no idea that it's that far over the fence. So let her know. Fence, yeah, stop running. You're good. Stop, Forrest. Good. I also use fence when it's a shot over my head. And if the fence is the end of this stage, the shot over my head, I'm running, it's a line drive, I will tell my outfielder fence so that she can turn around and play it off the fence. Because there's no reason, we see that all the time, where it's like a circus act, like dun 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 dun, like I'm running after, it hits the fence, it comes back this way, I come get it, I'm like, really, can we just get a fork and get the ball back into the infield? So I use the word fence, so there's no way she's gonna catch this ball. It is hit, it's about to hit the fence, which is still 10 feet away from her, but she's sprinting, and she's gonna keep going. I yell fence, so stop, read off the fence, get it back. Otherwise, I hate using the word fence, because when you say the word fence, it just says stop. Anytime you're running, think about it. And you're going back, and you know that there's a fence, and someone says fence! And you go, oh, and keep going, and kind of, no. I'm thinking, where? Stop! Because that's your biggest fear, is now, I know the fence is coming. Tell me when. So I like to use, you got room and find it. You got room lets an outfielder know, and I'm in their ear. You got room, you got room, you got room, you got room, every step, because every step, I'm thinking, do I have room, do I have room, where's the fence? Okay, I have room, I have room, I have room, then find it. Find it tells me, not fence, stop in your tracks, freak out, but find it means, okay, let's go ahead and start to put a hand out there because the next couple steps, I'm going to find the fence. That allows me to kind of play off the fence, make a great catch, but also know, hey, maybe I need to slow down just a little bit, or just know that I'm going to blow up the fence right now. With the breakaway fences, who cares? I mean, I play with Caitlin Lowe. Caitlin knows center field, I'm in left. We pretty much, and we know this, we tell each other you got room, even when you don't. Thank God we both agree, we're on the same page, that I'm totally okay with blowing through a breakaway fence. But it's the thought that if it is coming, that slows me down. And with the breakaways, you can make some amazing catches going full speed right into it. Again, testing, if you've got an 8-man team, maybe we're not blowing up the breakaway fence, but something to go over is communication, is my point. Getting your outfielders to communicate to each other, this is what I'd like to hear, this is where I feel comfortable, so that you can be able to give them that confidence. Knowing your outfield, getting them comfortable, having them do it themselves, go out there. I mean, God knows, pretty much 90% of the outfielders we're playing in are like, I don't know, I feel like actually like mine fields. Like there's like blown up parts of chunks of grass, there's gopher holes, there's sprinkler heads, there's just love that like the infielders always have it perfectly pruned, they make sure they water it, let's go ahead and drag it 6 times, but the outfielders, it's like you can't even see it, there's like a big hill, and there's like a part of the outfield that's like missing, and this is where we live. That's why outfielders are like the toughest, best players on the team. So we're the ones who get handled. You want to make sure that your outfielders know where they're playing. You don't want them to find out that there's a gigantic hole in left center when they're going after a ball. Or they find it out, as they're coming out there, and then all of a sudden it's in their mind, and they want to avoid that whole part of the field. Also knowing, how far the fence is. In some cases you might have a warning track, some cases not, but the point is have your outfielders be, knowledgeable. Have them take it upon themselves to know the outfield that they're playing on. It's awesome to be able to just know how many steps I have at the fence. How many steps do I have to this foul area over here? Where am I positioned? And just makes you feel that much more comfortable so that you're not thinking about these things as you're playing. Throwing progression. This is something, if I could pick the one thing that outfielders need to do to be successful, it's throwing correctly and efficiently. You know, again, you can chase after a ball, you can field it correctly, you can catch it, but all I see is like, most of the time, it's hand grenades being thrown into the infield. Incoming! And it's like, you know, God knows where it's going, but they're getting it in. So one of the things is a drive step. A lot of times we talk about crow hop, okay? Now, again, for me, when I was coming into the outfield and people were talking about crow hop, my instinct was to field a ground ball and hop. I've even seen coaches put out a bucket to field and then hop over the bucket to be able to get into that position. As an outfielder, I want to have my momentum driving to my target. So I like to call it a drive step instead of a crow hop. It's the same concept, except instead of hopping, I'm driving. And this is something that's so hard to transition from the infield to the outfield. It's getting comfortable with the footwork of a drive step. So the big thing that you want them to do, once they've fielded the ground ball, is to get their throwing foot heel. Okay, so in my case, my right heel. And the heel is the important term here, because using your heel forces you, if I'm driving my heel forward, I have to get turned. If you say foot, I can get away with this. So I love using the word heel because it's very hard to drive my heel and try to stay facing my target. I'd be like trying to do a pirouette or something horrible that I shouldn't be doing, right? So if I'm getting my heel forward, it's automatically going to get me turned and get me in a strong driving position. But the point that I like to do is when they're warming up, throwing whatever progression you choose, and they've gotten more warm, they spread out, got a little further back. You definitely don't want to do this drill this close. You want to make sure that you're further away because you're going to have so much momentum when you drive step. You're going to throw the ball so hard. So you want to make sure you have ball and glove with this progression. Ball and glove, and all they're going to do is just take their heel, drive it, and throw. You can even break it into, to make sure, depending on the level, pause them at the turn. Still, a lot of outfielders and infielders don't get turned. So you can pause them here and see, okay, let's break it down. No, need to be turned here, making sure that they're in the right position. So you're going to take their heel, drive it forward, and challenge them. How far can you drive forward? You're going to see them, kind of uncomfortable at first, not good with balance. Okay, I'm going to drive forward. Here we go. Really? 2 inches. We got 2 inches right here. 2 inches from Melody, our center fielder. Who can beat that? Make it fun. Who can beat 2 inches? Now, they're going to get in their legs. They're going to use these crazy things called muscles, and they're actually going to use their momentum to get out. That's the point you want to make to them. Use your quads. Use your legs to drive your body forward, and that, get rid of the crow hop. This is a drive step. This is what's going to allow you to throw the ball so much harder. And the best part about it, you guys, is they're going to have a ball in their glove, and they're going to feel it. They're going to, if they do this with actually using their legs, they're driving forward, and now they throw. Whew. That's why they need to be further back. They're going to throw BBs at their partner and be like, hey, look at this arm I got. It's actually not your arm, it's your legs. We can change anything with your upper body, but focusing on how to do this with your lower body is huge. And from there, you can roll balls to them, have them field it, drive step, go through, just kind of work on the progression. But every day when I'm warming up, I do the drive step, 2 or 3. Just, I'm warmed up, I just get here, get into my mechanics, throw. 2 or 3 times. Gets my legs, it's the format of how I should be throwing. Oops. Thumb flick. I just like to emphasize things that don't get emphasized. So the thumb flick, what I do is just after they release, I have them do 2 more times down. Just flicking their thumb and understanding that it's their thumb that leads the ball. This can be a good way to teach instead of always pausing them, how we classically pause them. Okay, look at the back of your hand, is the ball facing away from you? Yes.